Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Good morning to everybody out there. This is the first day of the new trading week, and I believe my camera is looking a little messed up because it's a little larger than usual. We'll fix that in a second. But yeah, welcome back. If you just joined, smash that like button right now. That would be very much appreciated. On this beautiful 29th of November, Monday, the first trading day of this week. And we're coming, the market is rallying until the end of November. And we're about to be heading into December in this week. Starting Wednesday, it's going to be the 1st of December, and I do believe that the Santa rally that we've been talking about is going to be starting very, very soon. And we're seeing a bit of a glimpse of the recovery process of the correction that we have seen. And I've said this several times last week, that this correction that we're seeing is just COVID fear. And now we got more data about the new COVID variant. We know that this COVID variant is not going to be more deadly than Delta so far. It's going to be relatively mild. Although it's a new variant with new mutations, it's most likely going to be, I would say, less harmful than Delta. And that's right now, that's being priced into the market. People are getting back into the market. They're buying up the Nasdaq, the S&P 500. I mean, look at this. Nasdaq up 1.2%. We got the S&P 500 up 1.4 percentage points, which is just beautiful. Even the 10-year yield going up about 4.7% because obviously the 10-year yield went down substantially because people were very fearful. And now it's going back up. Maggie's about to cross, so yields are heading up slightly, but still sitting relatively low, so it's not going to have a very negative impact on the growth stocks, I would say. I wouldn't be surprised if the markets are going to rally substantially. Look at that, Russell up 2.5%, dollar going up slightly, 0.3%, with cryptos also bouncing back upwards. Very, very exciting markets. But yeah, let me just welcome everybody to the stream. Welcome back to Charles Liu, LFTE Fit, LJC 109, Alex Whiteside, Dave Hagen, Jazzy YT, Alan Rafferty, Han Nguyen, Fernando, Christina, Nelson, Greg, D. Coslow, Ken Zerba, Jesus Martinez, and Grace. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Smash that like button. Let's get to 50 likes. I think we can get there real fast. We have a poll going on in the live chat, and I basically asked, will growth and tech rally in December, which usually I think about 3 out of 4 times we have the growth stocks rallying in December. It's about 3 out of 4 times we get this Santa rally into the year end. It's a very common occurrence, especially when the markets have been going up pretty much for the whole year. We get a very positive close of the year, and I think. And we also get a correction prior to December. Usually get a bit of a correction, people getting ready for taxes. And as we're heading into December, a lot of, seasonality is going to kick in, the holidays, cyclicality, and stocks tend to do very, very well into December. So I'm very, very excited about December. I do think the market is going to keep going upwards. Yields are still sitting relatively low. We got the monetary policy still going for us. Fiscal policy is still going for us. Economy is still relatively strong. The companies out there are performing pretty good. Inflation is high, but not super high. We're not seeing hyperinflation or anything like that. So these are all ingredients. Oh yeah, supply chain issues are slowly but steadily getting better. So I don't think there's any negative catalysts right now to be after this 5% correction that we've seen to actually make it get worse. Although we still have the debt ceiling talks, but almost everybody agrees that it's going to be resolved. If they don't resolve the debt ceiling issue, then everything is just going to, you're going to have bigger worries in the stock market. Believe me, if the debt ceiling issue doesn't get resolved, they're going to resolve it. They don't really have a choice, in my opinion. And so, yeah, I think I'm still bullish until year end because we had our correction, right? I was waiting for that correction. That happened. And, yeah, I'm bullish now, right? So people called me a bear. Like, Gara, why are you so bearish? I'm a bit more bullish now after this juicy 5% correction. I wasn't bullish right here because I thought it was getting kind of overextended. and any kind of negative news would make the stock market actually correct to the downside. And guess what happened? The stock market corrected to the downside, right? We predicted the September correction, and now we predicted the November corrections, because I've been very cautious in November, starting at the beginning of November. So I personally had a lot of capital on the sidelines. I was taking a lot of profits in the, I would say, the more elevated periods that we've had in November. Obviously, you can't time it perfectly, but I basically went from, I believe I had 10% cash at some point. I went from 10% cash to 40% cash, and now I'm about 20% cash because I've been buying the dip at the lower levels. Things could get worse. I mean, we've seen, for example, with DIDI, which is a stock that we've been consistently covering. DIDI has been or is about to get delisted. And so, yeah, that's very negative. I decided to pull out pretty much 50% of what I owned in DIDI and just sell that for a slight profit because I bought DIDI in a very low zone, around $7 to $7.5. And I have half my positions. I think if DIDI gets listed on the Hong Kong exchange, I will be buying more shares on the Hong Kong exchange. But until then, I'm just going to be staying away from this for the time being. But there's still a chance that DIDI is going to go private and they won't be listing on the Hong Kong exchange, which could essentially mean that they have to buy the shares up at the IPO price, which is $14. So at that point, you get to sell your shares at $14. I mean, you would pretty much double your money at that point, right? The current price, or close to the current price. What is happening? Twitter is up 11% apparently. Look at that. Yeah, we were very bullish on Twitter. Twitter is one of the buy and sell signals on our Patreon. So yeah, congrats to anybody holding Twitter. I wanted to say Pinterest. Sitting at 52.5, going up about 11.5%. That is just magnificent. It's amazing. GGPI going up 1.6%. I'm telling you, like, GGPI is going to run up so massively when people start realizing how it's relatively cheap in comparison to, the Lucid and the Rivian, etc. Even Sheg, look at that. Sheg going up 4.2%, obviously. Bumble is not updated yet, I believe. Snapchat is going up 2 percentage points. Robinhood is up just a tiny amount because obviously for the people that don't know, Robinhood is going to have a lockup period expiration on the 1st of December. It's about 31 million shares are going to be available for sale for these insiders, and that could definitely have some negative consequences short term. So the stock could plummet a little bit further, but what I expect is I could essentially see a bit of a run up to 32 and then plummet. That's my expectation because I think the shares are still sitting very, very low, even with that lockup coming up. Virgin Galactic up about 0.5%, which I own. Alibaba going up about just a tiny bit, right? Baba not going up that much. I think the Hang Seng Index actually was going down, though. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, it was down about percentage point. that is not good. So I said that shorting the VIX would be a great idea. Obviously, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And look what happened. I said I wanted to short the VIX at around 27, 28 because I thought that this fear that we saw in the markets was very much temporary. And the VIX doesn't tend to move further and further. It just spikes up and it comes back down. So I really wanted to short it, but my trading app did not allow me to do that. So that was kind of sad. But I do think it's going to come back down to maybe, around $20. Around 20, right? Oil is going up 6.5%. 10-year yield is up 5.5%. So a lot of that fear is now dissipating. Interesting. We got Ethereum, Bitcoin heading up. Tesla's heading up like we expected. Yeah, we did this little technical analysis on for the Patreon Q&A, which we did yesterday. Yeah, Twitter is skyrocketing. My gosh. Twitter is absolutely killing it right now. It's amazing. But yeah, the stocks that I'm still currently very bullish on is Bumble, Sheg, GGPI. I am very bullish on Robinhood, Virgin Galactic at the current price. I'm bullish on Alibaba. I'm bullish on not the semiconductors. I think those are very, very overvalued at the current prices. I'm very bullish on Facebook. I'm very bullish on Palantir. Very, very bullish on C3.ai because C3.ai, it's up 2.8%. It's really nothing. It went down like 20% recently. It's going to have earnings. I think they're going to kill earnings. They're going to be absolutely murdering earnings. And I think this is my hope, is that they will either hit their guidance, which is about 35 to 40% growth for the quarter, year over year. If they hit that guidance, I think it's going to go up to $60 and beyond. Even at this current lower price, it's going to be very easy for the stock to get back to 60 because you're essentially paying a very low price for 35 to 40% growth when you're buying C3.ai. Keep in mind, AI is the next frontier. It has a very, very large market, and it's not just that the market is large, it's a growing market. So AI is going to be growing with AI. C3.ai will be growing with AI. So if they manage to hit the guidance or even beat it, I'll be loading up the truck on C3.ai shares and I won't be selling. However, if they miss guidance, if they are not able to hit their guidance, and if they're actually struggling, then I will probably sell my C3 at a loss. I've been holding this stock for almost a year now, and my hope was that their growth rate was going to pick up, which it did. Their growth rate went from 17% to about 29%, but it needs to get above 30%. It needs to get above that range. And if they get there, then I do believe that C3 is going to be one of the cheaper stocks in the markets. It's going to be a matter of time. We'll have to see. All right, market's opening up in about 3 minutes here. 3 more minutes. Smash that like button. Jack Dorsey stepping down. What? Really? No way. Is expected to step down, people are saying. Oh, wow. That's pretty wild. One sec. All right. Gara, snow is skyrocketing. It makes sense. I mean, snow did go down a lot. Yeah, there you go. It has earnings coming up in a couple days. And look how much it went down. Went down 17%, so it became quite oversold for a moment there. I don't know if they're going to be able to maintain these valuations that we're seeing here. They need to have robust growth. If they don't have like extreme growth, then the stock will fall all the way back to $300 again. So it's a very risky play right now. They're either going to grow extremely fast or they're going to drop extremely fast at this point. It's kind of interesting how people are actually bullish on Jack Dorsey leaving. Very, very interesting. Market's still bullish. Okay, so we got about a minute left until the market opens up. Make sure you hit that like button right now. Let me know which stocks should we be covering right now, and I'll be covering your favorite stocks. In the meantime, I want to take a look at some stocks here. See which one am I interested in. I actually want to see what's going to happen with Virgin Galactic. I've been buying a lot of Virgin Galactic recently. We're also going to be checking other stocks, but I haven't been checking Virgin Galactic in a long time. It's been one of the buy and sell signals, and it's also been one of the stock pick articles that we've written just recently. So this is going to be quite interesting. And the markets are now, I believe, officially open. There you go, market open. Are the markets going to remain positive? That's the big question. Or is this going to be a pump and dump? Yeah, markets are incredibly positive. Look at that. Nasdaq going up 1.34 percentage points. Dow Jones up a percentage point. Russell up 2.6%. The S&P up about 1.5%. Incredible. It's a very, very fast recovery that we're seeing here. Even, space coming back up slightly, although not really significantly. Alibaba going up about 0.4% right there. It seems like the risky stocks are not performing, at least not as well as other stocks out there. For example, we can see this right here. Big tech, it's mostly big tech rallying, right? Apple up 2%, Microsoft 2%, Facebook up 1.2%, Google's going up 2%, Amazon is going up 1.5%. So it's mostly big tech that is going up, although we're seeing a bit of upside here on Palantir sitting at 21.3, C3 going up 2%, Snowflake is going up about 4 percentage points, Lucid is sitting at 52.7 again, Rivian is sitting at 116, Tesla $1,100, Neo $41. This is pretty interesting. And yeah, the Nasdaq is still going up. Look at that, 1.5% on the upside. Same for the S&P. We're also 2.5%. And like I said before, it's mostly because of the big tech stocks. Mostly because of big tech. When you have Apple going up like almost 2% and Microsoft going up 2%, it's gonna carry the markets, right? Meanwhile, Robinhood is going negative. Virgin Galactic is going negative. Bumble is up 5 percentage points. So I guess that one is doing good. Let's see. There we go. See, that is pretty sweet. All right. Let me just quickly. I'm just going to have to quickly scan the market here. Gara, Palantir is winning a $350 million contract from the Army. Oh, that is very sweet. Yeah, I mean, if that is the case, Palantir should be rallying. But that's not happening. That is not happening right now. Why is that not happening? Because it's the big tech stocks rallying. It's EV stocks, obviously. EV stocks are still doing pretty good. And it's big tech. Everything else is just kind of underperforming. You can see that right here. Robinhood heading down. Netlist is heading down. Virgin Galactic was negative right there. UiPath negative there for a second. Beyond Meat is negative. Twitter had some news. That's why it's up. But everything else, I mean, I guess Chegg is still up. But Chegg is starting to plummet right there. IONQ is starting to plummet. So this is a strange thing that we're seeing. Well, big tech is going up huge. And you can see Tesla's also kind of taking off right now, up 3 percentage points. Everything else is just going down or sideways. Very interesting. Bumble's still up 4. Look at that, Robinhood. Look at that. Robinhood is coming down 1.5%. Incredible. Virgin Galactic down 0.4%. Beyond Meat down to 1.7%. And everything that's green here, I mean, look at this. Uber, 0.5% after going down 10%. Path, up 0.5%. SoFi, only up 0.2%. Yeah, so most names are actually still struggling from what I'm seeing. So, yeah. Wow. Very underwhelming. Very, very underwhelming. The Russell's actually coming back down. That's what we're seeing here, at least. EV, anything EV is still doing good aside from Lucid. And yeah, big tech. It's all going into big tech every single time. Every single time. Nvidia is also heading up. You could consider that one of the big tech companies at this point. So, yeah, the capital is just really concentrated in a select group of stocks, while everything else is just kind of struggling, really. Look at that. Virgin Galactic now coming down again. Down 0.7%. Slowly, look at that. Slowly, everything is going negative. Helion negative. Virgin Galactic, Netlist, Robinhood, Uber, Path. Beyond Meat is still negative. And we're about to see ChargePoint go negative here as well. Look at that. Nvidia's coming back down. Markets are coming back down right now as we speak. Lucid down 1.6%. Li Auto just went up quite a bit here. Maybe that's some news. Could be it. But even Li Auto, I mean, is selling off 3 percentage points right now. It's a bit of a strange phenomenon, but that's what we're seeing here. Are cryptos selling off? No, not really. Cryptos are doing relatively okay. Yeah, so the semiconductors are starting to come down a bit. Alibaba down 1.1%. DIDI's coming down 2.5%. And look at that. Slowly, everything is going red. Everything is going back into the negative territory. Look at that. Robinhood. Robinhood is now selling off 2.5 percentage points. Interesting, right? So Robinhood down 2.5%. Virgin Galactic down 1.2%. ChargePoint, SoFi, Path, Uber, all going negative. IONQ going negative. What is green is Bumble and Sheg. Wow. Interesting. This is the wild, wild west. This is it's a little strange what we're seeing here. I want to just quickly see if I can I short the VIX right now. Yeah, so now they're allowing us to short the VIX. While the VIX went down like 20%, and now they allow us to short it. Yeah, I'm not going to short the VIX right now. I think it's a bad idea. Carnival is a steal right now. So somebody just said that Carnival Corp is a steal. Gara, why are growth so cheap yet they keep falling? It is because today we've seen yields go up 5.4 percentage points. I don't think it's going to be that negative though. I think that this is still kind of temporary. The COVID fear is a little bit, it's still lingering a bit. These tech stocks, the big tech stocks at least, they kind of act as a safe haven. People flock to these big tech stocks. They think that those stocks are going to perform best. And people are fearing a potential accelerating taper, which we've seen some articles about that recently. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the taper is probably going to slow down, if anything, because of the COVID fear. But yeah, it's really weird. I agree. I have to say, I'm kind of weirded out about this. It's like, yeah, Virgin Galactic sitting at 16.5 just keeps on plummeting, right? Remember, Virgin Galactic wasn't that expensive. It's sitting at, valuations that we've seen maybe last May or last September 2020. Meanwhile, a lot has happened, right, in the meantime. And that's just one example. It's not like Robinhood is sitting at very expensive levels either. It's not like interest rates are sitting at 2.5%. That's not happening. So, but yeah, the stocks that do not have positive catalysts near term are suffering, and we're seeing that firsthand with Robinhood, which is going to have a lockup period expiration. It's already sitting at the bottom, all-time lows, and it continues to go down as investors are still very skeptical, right? So they're not willing to take that risk. However, look at this. Sheg is going up 3%. Bumble is going up about 3.9 percentage points, which I still think Bumble is probably one of the better stocks to be invested in for the coming months, because you're getting a relatively cheap price in a good business, and which might actually benefit from COVID, given the fact that dating tends to go online as COVID comes around. Let's see. Yeah, this is so wild. EV stocks are just doing so well. It's so strange. EV stocks do amazing, yet everything else is doing really bad, which is strange. It's not like EV stocks have better multiples. It's just the infrastructure bill is going to be benefiting Lucid, Rivian, and Tesla, and other EV makers. And I think Ford and GM are probably doing relatively okay. Yeah, there you go. Ford is still going up. GM is also going up. Huh. Interesting. So those companies don't really have any troubles right now. Right. This is very confusing. Coinbase is heading up about 2% on the bounce that we've seen in crypto. Keep in mind, crypto went down. That was prior to the weekend, I believe, about 10%, and we had another 10% bounce. So that's kind of lovely. That's lovely for Coinbase. And I believe the crypto miners, there you go, Gara going up 5%. Riot should be benefiting about 1.7% right there. We had a huge downturn recently because of the lawsuits that were going on. Or no, I don't think it was a lawsuit. It was a subpoena. And Rivian up 3. Yeah, it's crazy. Look at that. Tesla just keeps rallying. It just keeps moving up. And then you have PALANTIR going negative. You got C3 going negative. Very, very confusing. Robinhood down almost 4%. Look at that. Damn. I might want to buy the dip on that one. Yeah, the problem with this is like we still have the lockup period expiration coming. Let me check. Baba's coming back down. Bumble's coming back down now as well. I mean, what is rallying today? It's just big tech, right? Like no, not even the big banks. Big banks are just slightly green. I guess recovery stocks are coming back up from the huge amount of selling pressure. So it's like big tech is up and EV stocks. And then Robinhood is just not having it at this moment. Robinhood is not having it. It is going all the way down to a new all-time low, I think. At least getting very close to one. Let me just quickly do some Google searching on Robinhood. Why is Robinhood going down 5%? That is so strange. Robinhood evaluating if the recent decline is creating an opportunity as ARK investigates to increase its position. Oh, okay, right, so. Interesting. 26.7 on Robinhood. You know what? I'm going to start buying as the stock price goes below this level. So if it does go below the all-time low that we've had, then I will start buying more. I'm going to wait for that, right? It could still bounce up quite aggressively here. Look at that. Slowly but steadily, everything is going down. Virgin Galactic down 2%. Netlist down 1.2%. Uber down 2%. So it was all for show, right? All that capital is going back into big tech. Look at that. Big tech is doing really good right now. Everything else is doing really bad right now. It's just big tech. And I would consider AMD and NVIDIA at this point to be big tech. They're just part of the whole, Tesla, Amazon, Google. So the very large caps are sucking in all the capital. And the small caps are being left out, really. And keep in mind, the Russell hasn't been doing a whole lot this year. It's just been going sideways. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq has been going on a tear. S&P has been going on a tear. Same for the Dow Jones. But now, well, so more sideways on the Russell. We had a bit of a rally right here. But yeah, I would say this is a mini kind of crash almost. It's not a crash. I would say 20% plus is a crash. But that's definitely a sizable correction that we saw on the Russell. And let's see, Robinhood is still heading down. I think it's about to be hitting an all-time low. What's happening with Bumble? Bumble's also going down. Wow. That's wild. One second. Yeah, I might actually buy into it right now. 26.7. I want to see the MACD go negative. Like really, really negative. We're not yet there, I would say. Sheg is going up 4.4%, which makes sense because it's undervalued, I would say. Fundamentally undervalued. And I would also say they're going to have the buybacks. One sec. Gara, Centerel will be only for big tech. No, it won't be. My voice, my gosh. If that is the case, then the market is going to crash. Trust me on this one. If it's going to be only big tech rallying, you're going to be very worried. Like, you got to be worried. That is not good. If only big tech is rallying and everything else is staying low, that's a sign of impending doom. That is not good. That means that if big tech fails, then the whole market fails, and the whole stock market will pretty much roll over. And I don't think they're going to fail necessarily, but it's a ticking time bomb, really. You got to have other stocks perform here as well. You can't just have big tech going up and everything else just going down. That's not how it works. You can have that. Sheg just announced a buyback of about 300 million. That is pretty nice. I think Sheg is going to go up a lot. I think it's going to go up a lot. I think it's going to go up to $30 at that point. But yeah, thank you for that $2 donation, Masras. Appreciate it. Yeah, Sheg, let's go. I still think it's undervalued at 26.2. I think maybe like around 35 to 40, that would be like fair value with the current context of things. But yeah, definitely one of the more undervalued stocks out there. It's up about 5.2% right now, and yeah, I think it's going to go up quite a bit. I mean, look how much it's down. Just look at this. Damn, like 70% in just a couple weeks. It's sitting at the bare bottom. It's up 5.4 percentage points. There we go. Yeah, they're buying. Look at that. This is really, really positive. They're buying about $300 million worth of shares right now, which at the current market cap, that's about 10%, I believe. Close to 10% of the float. That's a lot. That is a lot of stock that are going to be buying up here, and they have more that they're going to be buying up soon, which is going to make the stock go up even further. Robinhood is coming down a lot right now. Robinhood is coming down a lot. Jeez. Right when you think it's over. It's down about 5 percentage points. And it's mainly because of that lockup period that we're going to have coming in very soon. One second. Yeah, markets overall are positive, but you can see ARK is actually not going up. ARK has a lot of these growth and tech stocks with high multiples, and those are not doing good right now. You can see right there, PALANTIR is going down 1.5%. AI is going down 1.4%. It's the big tech stocks. Look at that, BNGO, Nano Dimensions. These stocks are sitting at lows, all-time lows, and they're down. They're still going down. Semiconductors are still doing good. Big banks are slightly negative because of the, obviously what's happening with the yields. One second. Yo, Gara, check Palantir. I think it's down right now, right? Yeah, it's down about a percentage point. Nasdaq is still green, right? Still very, very green. And Russell, same story, up 1.6%. I mean, I don't see why growth stocks should be down like this. It's a very harsh punishment, but that's what we're seeing. So far, so good. And what else are we seeing? Shag is still up 4.6%. Bumble up 2%. And big banks are negative. Semiconductors are just tearing it apart right now. Palantir is down still. Is that Tesla? Just Tesla has no, like, there is no break. It just has to go up, which is just really fascinating to watch Tesla go up without any catalysts. Just goes up every single day. But that's how it is, right? Momentum is now driving the market. It is mostly about that momentum. And retail traders, most retail traders are buying Tesla because they like Elon Musk, they like EVs, and they, I don't know. I don't know why people are buying at 11:30. It's a wild, wild west. It's pretty wild. That's my only response to that. Like, Tesla sitting at 1.2 trillion, Rivian, or not Rivian, Nvidia sitting at like 850 billion. My gosh, like these are some really rich valuations. They better perform, right? If they don't perform, if Tesla has one bad quarter, ooh, and it happens, right? Companies can have bad quarters, and I've seen that happen. I've held Tesla for years, and I've seen bad quarters for Tesla. You never know. You never know what could happen. Tesla rumored split. Yeah, I think that's probably it, right? I've actually this arrow is pointing to the 9th of December. And I think it could get back to all-time highs as people think that there's going to be stock split, so they're going to be buying into the stock at these quite elevated levels, thinking it's going to split. If it doesn't happen, then, well, that could be quite painful because it's going to drop very fast. Keep in mind, Elon Musk still is not done selling his shares. So just want to put that out there. Let's see. DIDI is sitting at 7.8. Baba at 131.7. Are cryptos also heading down? No, I don't think so. Cryptos are kind of decoupled from the stock market at this point. A good example is PayPal down after one bad quarter. It's down 40%. Yeah, that's a good example. It's a very good example. Because you have to keep in mind that these companies can definitely have bad quarters, and you have to be able to anticipate that. So being very optimistic is nice and all, but if you do get a bad quarter, with Tesla sitting at like 1.2 trillion, there's not enough room. It's not going to go. It's not going to go down 1%. It's going to go down 5 to 10%, maybe 20%. It's risky. It's very risky. Short term, obviously, the volatility is definitely there. With Elon Musk selling, and keep in mind, Q1 of 2022 is going to be a bad quarter, relatively bad, in comparison to Q4. PayPal. I wanted to show PayPal real quick. So here you have PayPal, right? Everybody was super hyper bullish on PayPal. Like, PayPal was unstoppable. Then they had one bad quarter, and guess what happened? The stock went down 40%. Nobody expected this, but it happened. And so, I think it's the same with Tesla, although I don't necessarily believe that's going to go down right now. I actually think it might get back up to all-time highs right now because of the stock split rumors. But I think in Q1, January, February, March, the bearish months for Tesla, is going to get real interesting and potentially painful for the people that are holding a boatload of Tesla stock. GGPI is pumping. Let's go. GGPI going up about 3 percentage points. Sheg going up 7 percentage points on the stock buyback. They're buying back $300 million worth of shares. One second. Here we go. Markets are done flushing. Yeah, it seems like that is the case. From what I'm seeing. Virgin Galactic is bouncing back slightly, but still down 2%. Robinhood is going up. Look at that. Robinhood is bouncing back. Okay, I think that's good news. But it's still volatile because of that lockup period expiration. Twitter's coming back down. Interesting. And what else are we seeing here? Yeah, big tech is just doing really amazingly. Both PALANTIR and C3 are coming back up slightly. EV stocks are starting to skyrocket. Really, look at that. Tesla going up 5% like it's nothing. Lucid is heading up 1.6%. Rivian up 3.4%. XPeng 4.4%. Li Auto 9.5%. EV stocks are really killing it. And you can see Nasdaq up 1.6% right now. Same for the Russell, S&P. Dow Jones. Look at the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is going down. The Dow Jones is actually heading downwards. That is really interesting. So the Dow Jones is plummeting. I want to see what's happening here with the value stocks. Big banks are down 1%. Chinese stocks obviously heading down slightly. Nothing too significant though. Bumble is up 2.7% still. Bumble's doing great, I think. GGPI, I think, could be getting... it's about to cross the MACD, by the way. This is looking pretty darn bullish. I think it's going to break out to the upside. Most likely heading towards that $15, $16 level. So GGPI going to $14 right as we speak, up 3.3%, and I think it's still undervalued in comparison to the EV stocks that are on the market. Keep in mind, Polestar is going to be merging with GGPI, and it's starting to move up. And GGPI is, at least Polestar is delivering tens of thousands of EVs, and they look pretty good. They're pretty darn good. I've seen them on the streets, and I think it's, at the current price is sitting at a market cap of about 35 billion. Lucid is sitting at 90 billion, and they've delivered like maybe a dozen vehicles. Same for Rivian, sitting at a market cap of about 100 billion, I believe, which you can see right here, 100 billion market cap. They delivered maybe a couple dozen vehicles. So yeah, they haven't quite proven that they're able to produce a large volume of vehicles, both Lucid and Rivian. So yeah, we're gonna have to see what happens with that. PALANTIR is still not having it, still not going up. They had a contract, stock still down. It's probably because of the 10-year yield being up 4.9% today, 4.8%. Although we're gradually seeing a little bit of momentum kick in here for the growth stocks, just a tiny bit. We're seeing them go up bit by bit. There you go. Lucid is going, really? No way. Yeah, there you go. Lucid going upwards about 2.7%. And these EV stocks are kind of following Tesla, right? So Tesla goes up and then everything else goes up. And then look at the Nasdaq, right? Nasdaq is still down. Keep in mind, Nasdaq is still down about 2.7% from all-time highs, and same for the S&P. We're not back up. We're still down. Although it looks like this could potentially get slightly worse. This is not looking good. This looks like we might get a double bottom. Do we see the same pattern here? I don't think the S&P is showing the same amount of weakness, because you can see right here the Dow Jones is looking very weak, and that is dragging the S&P. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq is looking relatively strong, right? You can see these strong green candles, MACD crossing, etc. So it's the Nasdaq that's going to be leading here, along with the Russell, because the Russell has been going down about 10% from top to bottom, 8.2%. And VIX is still heading down, 16.5%. The dollar up about 0.4%. I think it would be lovely to see the dollar go down a bit, because it's just strengthening so fast. Yeah, it's looking painful for many of these stocks. GGPI going up 6.5%. Look at that. GGPI heading up $4.4, $14.4. Bumble heading back up to 35. Pretty sweet. Masras coming in with a $2 donation and says Sheg bought Busu for $436 million. Wow, good news back to back. Yeah, I agree. I think that's really good news. Busu provides courses in 12 different languages. Right. That's really good. Actually, I want to see what the details are on that one. Sheg. Yeah, obviously it's a small cap, so when you get this kind of news, the stock tends to really respond. Oh, this is good. This is a great move. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So essentially, Sheg they're trying to expand internationally. They've kind of had a struggle to do so because their main market is in the US. And so with the acquisition of Busu, which is a company that I think they sell like courses for languages and whatnot, they have about 500,000 subscribers internationally. But this is going to help them get more international. So this could definitely be a very exciting acquisition for Sheg. And they had a lot of cash as well, so they might as well do something with that cash. I prefer them getting acquiring a company versus buying back their shares just blindly. But so apparently they're both buying back the shares, and at the same time they are also acquiring a company that's going to help them scale up. So I think it's good news. Stocks are going down. Yeah, growth stocks are still plummeting. Oh my gosh. It's no end in sight. No end in sight yet. So far. Hold up. Let me just quickly check something here. Meanwhile, Bumble is doing pretty good. Bumble is like having the fantastic time. I mean, one sec. There we go. Alrighty. What a depressing market. Nano Dimension heading up. BNGO heading up. What's happening with ARK? ARK is about to go positive. Okay. So their stocks are starting to come back up. Robinhood is just having such a tough time right now. I want to just quickly look up when that lockup is happening. I think the lockup period expiration is going to be on the 1st of December. Robinhood stock, 1st of December. There you go. News. Why is this not in the news? This is very important. Lock-up period expiration, December 1st. There we go. With more shares unlocking in the coming months and with the greatest lockup expiration on December 1st. Yeah, okay. There you go. Fair enough. Yeah, it's still plummeting. It's down 5.1%. I think people are just not willing to buy the stock, primarily because why would you buy before a lockup period expiration, right? So that's kind of the mindset right now, I believe, most likely. You know, I'm not going to buy right now. I'm going to buy after the lockup period expiration, right? So that's how people are thinking about this. Russell's heading down. Man, this is so negative. I believe JP Morgan had a price target of about 35. And we're down about 24% on that. So I know that they're going to be selling about, or they're going to be, there are about 31 million shares available. 31 million shares. Let's see how much money that would be. 31 multiplied by 26.56. At the current share price, that would essentially be, that would be $823 million. That's a lot. That's a lot for the market cap, right? Keep in mind, 1% is about 220 million at the current market cap, right? That's about 4% of the float that's going to be available for selling. And I think like a huge part of that float, a huge part of that is going to be added to the float. People are going to, obviously sell their stock, take some profits, etc., take some off the table. Let's say about 50% of that is just going to be sold right away. That might be a little conservative. That's still 2% of the float, which is a lot. That's a lot of shares coming to the market. Oh boy. I don't mind buying right now. I would much rather buy on the 1st of December when they're selling the stock like crazy without any reason, just selling. But this is going to push the stock lower short term, definitely. But I think it's an attractive price. But then it can get more attractive, right? It could definitely, get a little bit more attractive, get back to 24, 25. That is a possibility. Give me 1 sec here. There we go. Comadang says, gotta hit that like button, everybody, if you're watching. Yeah, definitely make sure you smash that like button right now. Hit that like button. And my hair's looking a little bit messed up because I had to bike for like 30 minutes recently. So my apologies for that. I'll try to fix my schedule soon. What's the right move right now in the markets? I think the right move would be to hit that like button. But yeah, the right move right now would be to dollar cost average. Really, there's no other thing that could be done right now aside from just dollar cost averaging the dips and hoping for a bit of a momentum swing, which we're not quite seeing that yet. We had green markets in the first couple minutes, and now we're seeing gradually, we're gradually seeing more and more red. I still believe that this is just what's the right word for it? Maybe like a fake out, trying to push as many retail traders out of these oversold growth stocks. I think that's the right wording. Institutions just selling after selling after selling. This pushes out retail traders because people get margin called, people paper hand essentially, they get out of the markets, and then you get these very low valuations. You get incredibly low valuations, and then they buy back the dip. Really, like that's how they do it. So, yeah. This is still going to be the best time to be dollar cost averaging. But intuitively, when you look at this, you're like, oh, it's red, so I shouldn't buy. But it's the opposite. It's like, oh, we're getting a discount. It's going down lower. So I guess it's time to dollar cost average. Same with Virgin Galactic. I mean, look at this. What the hell? This is so weird. Positive markets, yet all of these stocks are all just selling off. You know, yields are not even that high. We've seen higher yields. Really, 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 really strange. And what else are we seeing here? The Chinese stocks are just doing their own little thing like they always do. GGPI now sitting around 14 bucks. And semiconductors are coming back down. Look at that. Virgin Galactic coming back down. And same for Robin. Look at that Robinhood. Almost down 6%. This is probably the best time to be getting into Robinhood. Probably the best time. Single-handedly, like, probably the best time we're going to get, maybe ever, because of the lockup period expiration. One sec. We go. And what else are we seeing here? Meanwhile, EV stocks are just, I think, maybe detached from reality or something. Oh, C3 is sitting at all-time lows? Really? No, it's not. All-time 36 would be all-time lows. It's not there yet. But what is surprising to me is that we're going to have probably record earnings for C3.ai, yet the stock is just going down. It goes to show you how investors have changed their mind about risk. And so anything that's risky, people are not touching it. They're not touching. Even look at Palantir. Palantir just recently got a contract. They're doing really good. Yet the stock just plummets and plummets and plummets because people don't want to be adding risk to their portfolio. Robinhood's bouncing up a little bit. From what I'm seeing. No, it just doesn't like to go up right now. Jeez. 5.6%. It's about to be down like 6 or 7% right now, isn't it? That's as markets are green, right? Russell is going down now, though. So Russell is starting to pull back down. What else are we seeing? Just trying to look at that. Wow, that's fascinating. 26.28, 26.29. Very oversold on pretty much all metrics, really. Imagine that you bought Robinhood at the IPO. You'd be down about 23%. That would suck. That's after that huge move that we had to 84. Goes to show you how wild the markets are. I haven't seen anything like this. 69% in a relatively short period of time, too. How much was this pump? This was like 200%, right? 150%. And Robinhood is still falling. Meanwhile, Bumble is starting to come down. Sheg is starting to come down. IONQ now down 5.3%. Robinhood is down 6%. Uber down 3.2%. Virgin Galactic is down about 3%. UiPath 1.9%. Now let's go back to big tech. When you go back to big tech, it's like it's a different world, Apple is up 2%, Microsoft is up 2.6%, Facebook is up 1.4%, Google 2.1%, Amazon 2%. This kind of bipolarity is it's weird. It's unlike anything I've seen. It does remind me of some charts that I've seen from maybe the .com or something, where you eventually had all these small caps that just crashed, and then you had the bigger, larger caps that kept going, and then even those started crashing, and then essentially you had a bear market where everything was crashing. Although keep in mind, we still have monetary policy. We still have fiscal policy working for us right now. So seeing a market crash would be a little weird at this point, with rates at zero, with all that money printing and government spending. It would seem a little strange. While the valuations are really stretched, the 10-year yield is sitting at very low levels. Bond yields are down substantially. So there's not a real alternative to the stock market, aside from maybe, obviously precious metals and the dollar. Commodities. Yeah, people are calling this a silent crash. I mean, I have to agree with that. That's basically what we have seen. When you look at many of these names, right? Like, geez, look at this. Pumps it up all the way to 180, down 80%. That's on C3. Even with PALANTIR, right? All that huge momentum that we saw, down 55%. I guess Snowflake did manage to come back up. And, look at the Bumble, right? It's all these growth stocks with risk are down huge amounts. And that's really where I'm kind of seeing an opportunity, especially those growth stocks that will continue to do well into the future, into the next quarters. I think there is a substantial benefit to be had with the risk to reward ratio, because keep in mind, when you're buying Robinhood in this zone, your risk is quite high. When you're buying it in this zone, I would say it's still high. It's just much lower than if you were buying it right there. I don't see Robinhood going away anytime soon. I don't see this trend that we're seeing with retail traders and whatnot. I don't see that going away anytime soon. We're seeing big backers like ARK. That's just an example. Same with Palantir, right? Palantir is one of those companies that's going to be growing at the at least about 30% a quarter every single quarter for the next 5 years, and I would say the risk reward ratio is looking a lot better than a couple of weeks ago, which it was sitting right here. I mean, which obviously long term, if you're buying at 26, it's probably going to reach 26. But if you're buying at 20, I think there's a lot more upside to be had short term. Let's see. I think PALANTIR is starting to maybe move up a tiny tad bit, which is good news. Yeah, it's going to be one of those boring days. Really. It's going to be one of those really boring days where nothing really happens, right? Big tech went up and that's it. And that's pretty much going to be the day, at least from what I'm seeing. This has happened several times, right? It's like the capital gets out of the risky stocks, they put it into big tech, and they just let it be. And then either Apple or Microsoft or Google is going to have to sell off, and then it's going to go back into the small caps, or maybe yields go up slightly and bonds sell off, and that might get back into like small caps. Yeah, short term. I mean, we've seen this little story that we're seeing unfold right here many times. I am surprised. I honestly have to say I did not expect this. I don't think anybody expected this. Because it's like, so we're seeing the Dow Jones go down, and we're also seeing the small caps go down that are high growth and tech and risky. But what is going up is big tech, which, keep in mind, big tech has a very high concentration in S&P 500, in the Nasdaq, and that concentration, it just keeps on increasing, which increases the risk that whenever we see big tech fail, obviously, then that is going to capitulate the whole market. It's going to be, big tech is so big that they're not allowed to fail, because once they start failing, it just gets really ugly for the retirement accounts and everything, because the markets are so incredibly reliant on them. Could you check PayPal? I think so. Yeah. Let's check PayPal for a second. Yeah, looking at PayPal right now, I still believe that it's an attractive price right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets back to 175 though. So this is essentially been dollar cost averaging a small amount of PayPal in this zone right there. I think it could get back up. There is a 200-day moving average right here, so it's around 175. I think that would be the uppermost downside, about another 5%, with an upside potential, I think, to around $220, which could represent about 20% over the coming weeks into the end of the year. And keep in mind, PayPal is down about 40 percentage points, which I thought PayPal was very expensive here. I still think it's not the cheapest stock out there, but it's cheaper than what we've seen before, and I think it's for the growth, for the lower growth, because they're going to be growing a little bit lower now. I think about 15%. I think they were growing about 25% before that. You're getting a fairly reasonable price relative to the 10-year yield, which is now sitting at 1.5. If the yields go up, right, obviously, it will seem a lot more expensive at the current price. But yeah, I think PayPal is still a formidable company, and I don't think it deserves this kind of really harsh treatment. But that has been the pattern. That has been the pattern recently. We're seeing a lot of these companies that are not able to beat the estimates. Although, keep in mind, they didn't beat the estimate exactly, but on EPS they did beat. So there are very high expectations. If these expectations are not met, companies get destroyed. And vice versa. If a company manages to meet the expectation or even beat it, then they go up substantially. You can see that with NVIDIA, right? Very good example. You can see that with Tesla. They met the expectation. They exceeded it. And look at these huge rallies that we've seen. So that's how the market now functions. And I think the same thing is going to be the same thing for C3 very soon. On the 1st of December, if they manage to hit the guidance, stock's going to go up substantially. If they miss, it's going to be bad. So, oh, oops. My Siri just replied. That is not what I wanted. The CEO of Shag just tweeted. Did he tweet anything? Let me see. 1 sec. I'm actually quite interested. Dan Rosenzweig. What did he say? We just announced that Busu is joining the Shag family. We would not be more excited to help students in language learning as they look to advance their lives and careers. Okay, that's pretty dope. These posts, man. Alright. Oh, C3 is getting back to all-time lows. Look at that. Robinhood is going down very fast as well. Whew. And what else are we seeing? Yeah, this is getting very bad. It doesn't look very bad, right? It's like if you look at the markets, everything is green aside from the growth stocks. Because those are selling huge amounts right now. Virgin Galactic is now getting back to $16 from what I'm seeing here. DIDI's down, Baba's down. So let's see, is there anything in common? Let's see, stocks that are down more than 2%. Beyond Meat, very bad earnings recently. IONQ, speculative play, very speculative. Robinhood, very bad news coming up on, what is it? The 1st of December. Virgin Galactic had very bad news. DIDI had very bad news recently. So not today, just recently. What else is down huge? C3.ai, CEO started selling shares. Palantir, the earnings call was bad. So just kept on plummeting after that. So I guess, I mean, there are reasons why this, why we're seeing such downside. And let's just check the good companies. GGPI is benefiting from the EV hype. Sheg had very good news. Bumble had no news. Nothing. Nothing's been going on. Nothing negative. Nothing real positive. Although I would say COVID could be positive for them. Slightly positive. And look at that. Robinhood down 7% today. That's at the bottom. So another 7% on top of that. Looks like it's pulling. It's going to be pulling back even further. And what else are we seeing? Nvidia is going up because obviously graphics card shortage. Same for AMD. So those are the narratives right now. Why is big tech heading up? This is the holiday season. Big tech does really, really well during the holiday season. And it's a safe haven kind of stock when COVID is around. Like what we've seen in 2020. And obviously EV stocks are going up because there's a lot of hype around EVs. And Tesla's doing phenomenally. Why are Palantir and AI down? Well, because of the things that I just named. So it's fairly easy to understand the narrative. Look at that. Robinhood is still going down. It's now down 7.2%. Gosh, that is it's getting pretty interesting. I'm going to be buying some Robinhood right now. There we go. We're buying Robinhood at 25. I'll take it. Robinhood be like, I can go even lower. And looking at the 4-hour chart, I mean, I think people are probably shorting it like crazy, aren't they? Let me see if, what is the short interest on Robinhood? I'm actually quite curious. 19 million shares. No, wait, hold up. Let me check Fintel. No, it's not very high. It's like about 4%, I think. Somebody's saying buy Robinhood after the lockup period. I don't know about that one. I don't think we're good. It's really weird because you would think the mindset is you should be buying it when the lockup period expiration is happening. Funnily enough, very often what tends to happen is because the institutions also know that there's going to be a lockup period expiration, they buy into it. And because the buying pressure could maybe exceed some of that selling pressure, it could mean that the stock price gets elevated and doesn't go down further. Especially, it's down 7% again, and it's how much is it going down? Like that's like since the 16th of November is about 13 days ago, I think, 14 days, 13 days, right? That's 25% right there, and that was considered a very low level. So I don't necessarily think that waiting for the lockup period expiration to happen is the best thing. Although I wouldn't say that it's a good idea to be buying a lot of Robinhood right now. I think it's best to be dollar cost averaging. And that's not financial advice, but I am buying Robinhood that way. I've been buying Robinhood in this zone, in this zone, and I've been buying in this zone, buying small amounts, nibbling on that dip that we're seeing here, and I do believe that we're going to see an elevated move to the upside right after that lockup period expiration. What is happening here? I think markets are still coming down, right? There you go. Nasdaq coming down. S&P's coming down. Dow Jones is about to go negative. Look at that. Russell's coming down very viciously. Russell was up 2.6%, and now we're seeing the Russell go down 2% from that little top that we had. With cryptos are faring pretty well so far. Yeah, this look at that Robinhood sell-off. Oh my gosh. That is so nutty. That is crazy. I will be buying more. Is this the bottom? Is this it? Or will it go down further? It does look like it might. Net list, look at that. Net list is still green. 2 percentage points. Sheg is up 3.6%, and a lot of selling. Lots of selling still. Let me just quickly check my Alibaba stock. I want to see what's happening there. All right. I bought a little bit more Palantir. I thought it was. I still think it's at a great discount. I guess Robinhood is getting back up just slightly here. Still down 6.6% though. Sheg, look at that. Sheg getting back up to 26. I am telling you, once these growth stocks go up, Sheg is going to go up so freaking fast. It's going to be unbelievable. G7 statement. The Omicron variant necessitates the urgent action. Well, I mean, right, we don't have the full data, but so far it seems like for what we've seen with the cases that we've had, the Omicron variant tends to be relatively mild. So it's not going to be more deadly or anything like that. But hey, I mean, maybe that changes in 2 weeks. Who knows? If that does change, then expect lockdowns very, very quickly. I want to check the corona cases in the Netherlands. How is that doing so far? Oh gosh, yeah, it's looking pretty insane. We have about 22,000 cases every single day. Unbelievable. Yeah, I think what's probably going to happen eventually is it becomes an endemic, which just means that it's going to be less deadly, but it's going to be like the flu essentially. But it's not exactly like the flu, though, because it can mutate much faster, which is definitely worrisome. But then again, I have no idea. I'm not a virologist, so... Or epidemiologist. Ugh, I can't pronounce it. Epidemiologist? Do you pronounce it that way? Still lower. Look at that. Russell is just about to go negative. Damn, that is crazy. Huge pump in the Russell, and that is so nutty. That is so freaking nutty. And you can see the Nasdaq is now plummeting as well. But then compare big tech to what we're seeing here, right? Just compare. It's so weird. It's so freaking weird. Big tech is going up more than the Nasdaq, then the S&P, then the Russell. Dow Jones is about to go negative, right? Russell's about to go negative. So this disparity that we're seeing, I think Michael Burry actually pointed this out about a year ago, saying that big tech was taking more and more of a position in the indices. And look at that disparity. It is crazy. All of this is red. And then you have big tech just crushing it right now. So only companies people want to be owning right now. Gara, oil's dropping hard. Yeah, I mean, that's. I mean, it's not dropping hard. This was dropping hard, right? This little move, that was a really fast drop. Oil's still sitting at 70. You know, still in the green today. You can see that the 10-year yield is now coming back down again. And so people are going risk off right now. And yeah, we're definitely feeling it. We are feeling that. What's happening with the boy Palantir? Palantir's still really not budging. Nothing is budging. The death rate is the only thing that matters. I disagree with that one. I think symptoms also matter, because you can have long-term, I think it's called long COVID, right? Where you have like several months of just symptoms. That really does suck, especially for the elderly. And there's a lot of consequences there's a lot of things that we don't even think about are happening because of COVID. But yeah, my gosh, this is getting so bad. ChargePoint, CRISPR, everything. Red candles everywhere. Discounts everywhere. IONQ now down 6.3 percentage points. Even Sheg, with the good news that it had, only up 2%. Such unreasonable markets. But then again, I mean, markets are more efficient. I think short term it could be not that efficient because it's like, where's that money going? It's going to go to the bond market. Like, okay, you want to get yourself some, what is it, 1.5% yield? Well, you know, inflation is still like around 6%. So you're losing 4.5% on that. But yeah, there is a bit of a deflationary risk because of the lockdowns that we're seeing in Europe already. I'm not sure if they're going to lock down the US. I don't think they're going to do that, but there's still a chance that it might happen. So lockdowns are coming back, at least from what we're seeing, which I still think that poses a deflationary risk because people are going to cut. They're going to cut spending. They're going to lose their jobs probably, and so consumer confidence might go down. People might save up more money. Again, which essentially just means that CPI could come back down, and if the Fed does not realize this and if they keep on tapering, then I think the markets are going to be affected very negatively by that. Yeah, it's looking pretty tough. Oh, Lord. I can't believe, like, why is Lucid, why is this still sitting at 52 when we have these stocks all plummeting? It's just mind-boggling. 86 billion market valuation. And you have Rivian at like 98 billion. These are some magic forces that are keeping these stocks afloat. But then again, I mean, let's be honest, the markets are positive, so. VIX is coming back up. Dollar is still up about 0.3%. Look at Rivian. Yeah, I'm looking at Rivian. It's sitting at 113.8. 1.5%. I do expect Rivian to... let me see. There we go. I mean, if Lucid is allowed to stay at that market cap, Rivian for sure is going to be sitting at 100 billion. Why not? This is going to be the support range, around $100. So maybe short term we might get back to that. Pounds are just rising a little bit right there. Big look at Microsoft, 2.5% to the upside. How much in capital did they add to their market cap? 2.5% is about, I believe it's about 60 billion, like 65 billion. Jeez. They added like 2 pounders to the market cap, or close to 2 pounders, in a very short time span. That's how it works. One second. I'm going to quickly check my portfolio, see if I can make some adjustments here. Some tiny adjustments. Oh, Nasdaq is popping now. Okay. Nasdaq jumping. Russell is jumping a little bit. PALANTIR is heading up. C3 is heading up. I like what I'm seeing. Yeah, and everything here is just stuck. How is Uber sitting at 38? That is so nutty. Uber is sitting at 38.9 again. Incredible. They had pretty good earnings, I would say, last time around, and back to 38, I guess. And that's with the CEO. I think the CEO bought at like 44. He bought some shares at 44. It's now sitting at 38.9. Gosh. That's kind of painful. Ooh. But I think Uber is a great company at 38.9. I mean, it's a steal. That's my opinion. I think it's not a bad deal. Damn. So much fear. So much fear. Look at that, Microsoft going up more, up 2.6% now. Where's that capital going to go? Right? It's like there's so much capital. Where is it going? I mean, I guess it's going to the bond market, but do you really want to be holding a bond that gives you 1.5%? Like that's the question, right? It's like it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It starts to make sense when you have a very large portfolio to have bonds that have that kind of yield. PALANTIR is down about 1.4%, and TLT is down about percentage point. What? Wait, hold up. TLT is down. Oh yeah, well that makes sense, right? Because yields are up, TLT is down. Yeah, right. So Nasdaq still heading up, probably because of Microsoft heading up and Google. What kind of a discount did we get here, right? I think Google was down about 6%. Not bad. Still red across the board. Red across the board. This is so strange. It's I think the G7 summit is happening right now, isn't it? Or am I wrong about this? The digital summit. Somebody says your title of the video is incorrect today. Well, I don't really think about today. To be really honest, I don't care about today. I don't care about tomorrow. I don't care about next week. What I care about is the next weeks and the next months. Maybe the next year. So if I say that stocks are about to rally, I'm not talking about today. When I say that stocks are rallying, then obviously I'm talking about today. Never said it was going to happen today, right now. Point being, if you're day trading, good luck. Your competition are algorithms, and they'll beat you. I am buying a stock, holding it for a couple weeks, swing trading it. I have some long-term positions, although I'm not very positive on the next 3 years because of the interest rates going up. But I will be holding long-term positions if interest rates start going up and we get these shares at cheaper prices. But we're not quite there yet, I would say. But until then, I'll be swing trading, and I think it's better to have like a mindset about, okay, so what's happening the next coming weeks and the next coming months and the next year, rather than what's going to happen today and what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody knows. You could kind of guess what's going to happen with macroeconomic indicators, with technicals, what could be happening for and catalysts and everything make a proper guess what could be happening for the next weeks. But you're not going to beat the algorithms. You won't. Not a lot of people can. So it's very difficult. And you might be lucky 1 or 2 or 3 times, but they'll beat you. I think day trading is kind of dead. Like, as in buying a stock right now and then selling it 30 minutes later. Good luck with that. It's possible. It is possible. You need to have a lot of expertise. You need to be doing it full time, and I've done that, and I'm doing it, every now and then. Let's say a stock goes up 20%. Yeah, I'm gonna take my profits. I'm gonna buy something else if that happens. Yeah, so far so good. It doesn't seem like we're getting any upside. Things are just getting worse. Like, what the hell? It's incredible. Weird markets. Very, very weird. DIDI is going, of all stocks that could be going up right now, DIDI is going up, right? Isn't that funny? That's just hilarious. I think that's hilarious. DIDI about to get delisted is positive. However, let me see. Robinhood is down 7%. Makes no sense. Or Virgin Galactic down 4%. With Twitter as well, like Jack Dorsey going away, and now it's up 3.4%. Some interesting logic that is being used right there. Are you still holding DIDI? I'm holding like 50% of my positions. I sold a good chunk of my DIDI stock. I don't care too much about it short term because of the delisting that's going to be happening soon. If they don't get delisted, I would still be very bullish, but they're going to get delisted. They might go private. They might go on the Hong Kong exchange. At least those are the 2 options that we think could be happening here. But yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm going to be wrapping up the stream right now. There is not a whole lot happening. Everything is sort of flat and down on the growth side of things. And on big tech, it's just up and elevated and just sitting right there. And not a whole lot of... We're not seeing a lot of fluctuations. The VIX is still coming down here, 12%. But yeah, we have green indices. Most of that green comes from big tech, I would say. Because you can see Russell just tanked like massively. Like for today at least, about 2.6%, 2.5%. Dow Jones is about to go negative as well. So it's a weird market, I have to say. I haven't seen this in quite some time. It has to do with the COVID fears that we're seeing here in the markets in general, I would say. And yeah, but I remain positive on these stocks, right? I still like Bumble. I still like Sheg. GGPI, still like that one. UiPath, I like Robinhood, Virgin Galactic at 16. I'll buy some Virgin Galactic at 16. Gosh, Alibaba, still like. I guess Nano Dimension still is pretty sweet. Facebook looking pretty sweet of the big tech ones. I guess Google's not looking that bad either, with the 4% discount. For I might buy some, just a small amount. And I think Neo looks pretty good, along with C3.ai and PALANTIR. These are the stocks that I think on any momentum swing, which is going to take some time, is not going to happen right now, is going to happen over time, right? You got to keep in mind, stocks don't go up like that. It takes time. Markets have to settle down, consolidate, right? Maybe correct a little bit. But in due time, right, when markets get some tailwinds, right, some positive news, they tend to go up more than they go down. And right now, we're in the downswing, where you can get the discounts on stocks. We don't think there's going to be a correction that's so substantial that buying right now is too risky, because we have fiscal support, we have monetary support, we have so much support for the market still. even with the tapering, like, gosh, how much is being tapered? It's not even that much, and they could maybe slow down the tapering. I am still optimistic. I think that this is a weird market indeed, with big tech rallying and everything else is going down, holding up the markets, right? So big tech is holding up the Nasdaq, the S&P, because the Dow Jones is going down a lot. But I do believe that this is still a good time to be getting to slowly dollar cost average, essentially. A lot of people make the mistake to just buy a bulk amount of stock, which I think is a bad idea. I think it's good to buy in small increments over time as markets are heading down. If they don't go down, watch your stocks go up, right? Really, that's how it works. And if they do go down, that's going to provide us with another just juicy buying opportunity. And this is my mindset so far, as we have great earnings, fiscal support, monetary support, the rates at zero. I mean, these are some very, very bullish catalysts, and you can't just refute them. You know, we get these 5% corrections, but we're not going to have a crash. A crash would potentially happen when things do worsen. I don't see that happening right now, as there's too much money being printed. Don't fight the Fed. You know what they say, don't fight the Fed. It's not a good idea. But I do think Q1 could get interesting, because that's usually a bit of a bearish quarter. So around January, February, March. We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. You know, inflation is also kind of rampant. We'll see if that's actually transitory or not. Will be interesting. All right. Have a great one, everybody. I'll be going now. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, keep in mind, we are live every single day from Monday till Friday, 8:45 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. for the market open, and 3 to 4 p.m. for market close. And that's every single day that the market is open. We are live twice a day for market open and for market close. And I think probably today we're going to have a more exciting market close than a market open, because right now everything's just going flat, really. We're not seeing a lot of changes. Keep in mind, we also have social media. Check out the Twitter, the Discord community. We have an Instagram. The links are in the description, so check that out. Check me out on social media. And if you like, then join the Patreon for these benefits that are listed right here, which we uploaded a bunch of these fairly recently in the weekend. We're going to have another Patreon Q&A, so check it out at patreon.com/lucidtrading. Patreon Q&A is going to be on Wednesday. So if you want to join, then head over to patreon.com/lucidtrading. All right, I'll be back in a couple hours, and have a very awesome Monday. And keep your head up high. I do think we're going to get a December rally. It's just going to be a matter of time. All right, I'll be going now. I'll see you soon.